Okay, welcome everybody back to Steve Talks Boxing X, STBX. This week we are talking about this show, which is this weekend show, which is the Magnificent Seven Rides Again. And joining me this week is back again. It's Darren Aston. Darren, thank you for coming back on the show. Nice to see you again.
Glad to be back on again, Steve.
Yep, it's been a long time.
I know, yeah. How long's it been? A couple of weeks? Something
couple
like
weeks that? At least a couple of weeks. Yeah, exactly that.
Back by popular demand.
Back by popular, exactly that. My first question to you, Darren, have you recovered from the weekend, from those breaks in between the fights with the AJ and Ngannou?
Well, I did put a tweet out about this, I think, when during the actual boxing, and it's just, you know what, I don't want to be put too much of a negative, because it was a good show. You know, we're getting the fights that we want to get. We're getting to see them, but you know, two things for me what I think can be improved on is, one, the hour between each fight for definite, and then two is, I don't think you're going to improve on, because it is what it is the atmosphere. I do agree that the atmosphere is a bit flat during some of the fights, and what I actually said is during the breaks of the fights, you can't even go and get yourself a beer from the bar. So what the hell people are doing, I don't know.
How did they last till 3:30? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, you know, it's 3:30 in the morning, and their main event had just finished, and it's just madness, really. But you know, an hour between each fight for me isn't acceptable. At least do the cards where I don't know, you put more fights on, put a couple of lesser fights on. I just think something needs to be improved in that aspect of the show, because it just gets, we're all for like listening to the punditry and the predictions and a few interviews that they've done. But for me, it just dragged on a little bit.
Yeah. One of my followers actually said they'd grown a beard in between the fights, and that was from a female. So, make what you want from that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I do agree. I do agree with the criticism of it. Like, you know, there's no way any fan is going to be happy sitting there twiddling your thumbs for an hour between each fight. It's just, I mean, the show started at 6. I think by about 8 o'clock we'd had 2 fights, was it, or something like that? Maybe not even 2 fights. It's just, that's got to be improved. But I'm sure Turkey sees things like this on Twitter. Maybe he'll look at the next show and improve things. Hopefully so, yeah.
I was just pleased that AJ finished the fight in 2 rounds, to be honest with you. I was ready for bed.
Yeah, same here as well, yeah, definitely.
I was quite pleased with that. Okay, let's go back to this weekend's fight. The tagline, the Magnificent Seven Rides Again. Are we going to see the return of the Magnificent Seven in the next event?
Well, I'd like to think so, because I will be attending the show. I mean, I like the aspect of the show. With, you know, particularly the one like Frank Warren done last time in Manchester. Yeah. Good main event where Nathan Heaney pulled it off against Denzel Bentley. That was an unbelievable performance. You know, you had Echo Esserman and Harry Scarf. Nick Ball versus Isaac Dogbo. That was another good fight. Yeah. So I do like it. And then, you know, this show as well, we've got Nathan Heaney main eventing again against Brad Ball. I think that'll be a good fight.
Yeah. Do you like the theme of it then? He's going down, Frank Warren's going down this sort of Western sort of theme, but how long can he carry on? Will it be, I don't know, the Dirty Dozen next or something like that?
Well, I don't know. Well, he pulled it off before, didn't he? Several years ago, before we done the last one, and I think that was the only one he done. But he does seem to be pulling it like this is the second one he's doing now of this current theme he's doing. You know, I like it, and I think the shows are very worthy for what they are, and I'm hoping for a very good show again. I think there's some really good, interesting matchups.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about Frank, I was going to say, touch on that. Do you think this format works with Frank in terms of quality over the quantity on the actual cards?
Yeah, well, I think the card's pretty stacked, really. I mean, you know, we've had the show we've had in Saudi. We've now got our nice domestic shows coming up as well. And I think there's, like, you know, like I said, I think there's like very good 50-50 matchups. Some very close ones, I think, are going to go to some very tight scorecards. And that's what people want to see. And I think, like,
Yeah,
the ticket sales have done pretty well. And I think, that replicates for the card he's putting on. I think it's a very decent show.
yeah. You mentioned there tickets out seem to sell well. How many do you think it's down to this guy, Nathan Heaney?
Well, most of them. I do know that he sold over 2,000 tickets for this event.
Wow. Yeah.
I think he done the same, or possibly just a bit less for Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what you get with Nathan Heaney. He's a huge ticket seller. I think there's going to be about 7,000 to 8,000 in the arena, possibly something like that.
I was going to say,
Heaney's...
did you know the sort of the capacity of the arena or what?
I didn't know as like gospel, but I've been having a look at the ticket map, and I don't think the whole arena's open.
Mm-hmm.
They've sort of situated it to sort of close to sort of like the ring, but I think the arena holds about 12 to 14,000, something like that, and I think they're going to do at least half of them for the way they've sectioned it off.
Yeah.
But Nathan Heaney, yeah, he's definitely sold over 2,000 tickets, and hats off to him again. He's a great ticket seller.
It's good. Yeah, I was going to say, do you think most of the fans would be there for him then, judging by
there's definitely
sales?
Yeah. Well, you're going to have. I mean, I think what they're doing as well. Obviously, Nathan Heaney's from Stoke.
Mm-hmm.
They've put in coaches on after the Stoke City game to come straight to Birmingham for all his supporters.
Oh, wow.
For a majority of supporters. So yeah, you know what, Nathan Heaney as well. He delivers the tickets himself as well. He's a great guy. For what they do with it, for what they do with the travel as well. They're always putting coaches on. I mean, they're even they're even at the Stoke game straight to Birmingham. What a great day and night out for him.
So not only he's boxing, he's getting involved with the promotion, with ticket distribution. He's putting everything in as well. So that's
Nathan Heaney for you.
Yeah, I was going to say that's brilliant, isn't it? That sort of commitment to push that. You got your training to do as well, let alone other stuff. So, but
absolutely,
that's great to hear from him. Also on the card, we got this guy, Liam Davis. He's fighting for the IBO super bantamweight against a Mexican, Eric Robles Alea. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Never easy fighting a Mexican.
Well, not at all. We know their track record of coming over here and upsetting the apple cart. I mean, I think this is a very tricky fight, to be honest with you. I mean, that Robles come over here and he beat Lee McGregor unexpectedly, really. Lee McGregor was the favourite. And I think this is a very tricky fight. I'm hoping Liam Davis can do it. I think he will. On the scorecards, I would say. But I think this is a very, very tricky fight. And again, we're going back to like the competitiveness on this card. Mm-hmm. There's not really, apart from the odd one, where there's fights on the card where you go, this should be a walkover. And I think this is a tricky fight, definitely.
Yeah. We saw at the weekend with the Nick Ball fight. Obviously, he was up against the Mexican, although a lot of people said he should have won that, which I agree as well. But again, it's away from home fighting the Mexican. This one's obviously at home fighting the Mexican, but they travel well, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? These Mexicans, like you can look at their records sometimes and think, oh, he's got a padded record or who's he beat or whatever. They come over here and they're just unbelievable, aren't they? They pull out a big KO out of nowhere. They're brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I sometimes box rec these Mexican fighters, and some of them not even really fought out of America or fought out of Mexico. But you can't take anything away from that. You can't look too much detail, can you? Really, they're tough.
Well, that's the thing. When you look at some of our home fighters and you see they're fighting Mexicans and you don't really know them, you have a little look at the betting and go, he's worth a 10-1 shot, because you just they pull out a big bomb out of nowhere, don't they?
Yeah, just the fact they're Mexican, he's worth a go, isn't he? Really?
Exactly that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We also got Zach Parker on the card. Is that getting back on track after that Ryder defeat?
Well, he hasn't been that active, has he? I think he had one fight in 2023, and then Tyrone Zuga. He's had like 3 fights, I think, in 2023, and but he had a big layoff from 2019 to 2023. So he was very inactive, and then he's got very active. So another interesting fight. But I'm expecting Zach Parker to come out and try and make a statement here against the former world champion. I think it's the right fight for him.
Yeah.
Good fight, but I think it's the right one. Yeah, at this stage, with the name of who he is, his opponent, I think it's a good. I think he pronounced it Tyrone Zug. Is that how you pronounce it?
I'll actually look this up and Google it. I thought it's Zyga.
Is it Zyga? I've always looked at it as Zuga.
Yeah,
Zyga, okay.
Zyga. I think it's pronounced, but tell me if I'm wrong. My German's not that great.
People need to comment and let us know that one then.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, my pronunciation of names is not the best, to be honest with you. So, but I think it's Zyga.
You probably are right.
Yeah,
you probably are right.
We're going to go for quick fire predictions at the end. So I want your opinion on that as well. Going on to Joe Joyce, who also is on the card against Cash Ali. If he loses, it's a big if. Is that the end of Joyce, do you think?
I think you'd have to say possibly would be. I mean, let's be honest, Joe Joyce, he's been in with Takam. He's been in with Parker. He's been in, he's been in with Zhang, okay, albeit he lost twice.
Yeah.
This is a huge step down, really, and he should be taking Cash Ali out. I mean, I know Cash Ali's talking a good game. Fair play to him. He's got a good fight here.
I think he does always, doesn't he, Cash? I think he can talk a fight.
Yeah, fair play to him. You've got to back yourself before a fight. You've got to big yourself up, and I'm all for that. But I think you're right. I think if Joe Joyce doesn't make a statement here, where does he go? I mean, that'd be his third defeat on the trot. And you can't go from Zhang to Cash Ali, and then I know, like I say, he lost to Zhang, but you can't go and then lose to Cash Ali. But
yeah,
I would probably expect Cash Ali will give him some rounds. And the one thing you say about Joe Joyce, where sort of he was exposed a little bit, his slowness was exposed by Zhang.
I was going to say,
Zhang's not the quickest himself, is he?
No, I was going to say, how much of them 2 defeats do you think it's taken out of Joyce then?
Well, that's the question. We don't know. I'm expecting Joe Joyce to come back with a bang.
Like Zhang.
I think big bang Zhang. Well, I expect him to come back with a bang, but do I think he's going to go on and do anything of serious note after that? I don't think he will, because I do believe he's been found out for what he was.
Yeah.
But I think he's got to make a statement here, 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you see this as Frank Warren giving him maybe a bit of a confidence booster sort of fight, perhaps?
Yeah, and I think there's a bit of it as well. Obviously, Cash Ali I think he originated from Birmingham, or he was based in Birmingham at one point. So, Cash has got some fans in Birmingham. He'll bring some from where he's from now. And, a lot of the card is based around that, like Midlands fighters with a Midlands backing. So, fair play. Cash Ali is the man that he's put in front of him. And I know there's been criticism of it, but for me, I don't think you can be too critical at the minute, because let's be honest, he needs a massive confidence booster here, Joyce. And I think he can get that with Cash Ali being in front of him.
Yeah, I don't want to sound negative, but do you think that's probably the worst match fight on the card?
Probably for competitiveness, yeah. I think you've got to say that. I think if you probably look, I haven't actually looked, but I think if you actually looked at the odds on the fight, you'd probably have Joe Joyce as a massive favourite and Cash Ali as a massive outsider. So I would agree with what you've said, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Also on the card is Dennis McCann. What do you make of his impression his progression so far?
I like Dennis McCann. I think he's a very slick boxer. I think that was a very tough fight for him last. Was it Baluta he fought last? I think it was. I mean, I really like Baluta for what he does. He comes, he absolutely brings the fire every time. And I actually fancied Dennis McCann to probably nick that fight on points, but Baluta absolutely brung it, didn't he? And he was. Yeah. It was a brilliant fight to watch as well.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that was a Friday. Was that a Friday night show?
Could well be, you know. It could have been a Friday night.
I think it was a Friday night show, and it was a brilliant fight. But Dennis McCann's got to bounce back here against is it Brad Strand? Is it?
Yep, Strand.
Yep, Brad Strand. Yeah. I think Dennis McCann will get the job done, but I think that I don't think it'll be as easy as what some people I've actually spoke
Made
to
it out to be.
that go into the show. Yeah, but I do like Dennis McCann. I think he's a very shrewd operator.
Yeah, what I was going to say, I like Dennis as a boxer. He comes across well as a personality, isn't he? He's got that sort of Dennis the Menace gimmick to it as well, and it does pay well, gets people's attention, I think. So as a personality wise, anyway.
And you know what? He backs himself usually, doesn't he? And I know you've got to do that as a boxer anyway, but he's so confident in himself. Like I say, he had a tough fight against Baluta. He's got to come back now, and he's talking like he's gonna, Strand's not going to be any problem for him. He's well up for this fight, and I'll probably look for Dennis McCann to make a statement here.
Yeah. Okay. Keep your predictions to last. Remember.
Okay.
We're going to hit them right at the end. We also have a great domestic on the card in James versus Cooper. Do you see this as a 50-50 fight?
I really do, yeah. And it's a battle of the Midlands fight, isn't it? Yeah, I do really see it as a tough fight. I'd probably go. I'd probably go for Ethan James. Well, I'm not going to give you my prediction actually. I think it. Well, okay, I won't give him my prediction for the fight, but what I will say is, no, what I will say, I think you're going to see a full distance fight here, because they're both very good boxers, but I don't think they're both like. I think Cooper. I don't think Cooper's got a KO to his name. I think he's got like the wins. I think it's 12 wins. I don't think he's got a KO to his name. So I don't think you're going to.
Has it?
What's that?
It's got the cards written all over it then.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. But I definitely see it as a tight fight. I don't know what the bookmakers are making it again, but I'd say it's extremely close.
Both right, definitely. How disappointed are you that Decrease and Adelaide's not on the card? That was a big fight. Everyone was hoping what would be there. Actually, one person tweeted me today and he couldn't believe it was off the card and he's actually going on Saturday, so he didn't realise.
Well, what I didn't like about it, I actually spoke to someone, I can't remember what page it was on Twitter, but I actually spoke to someone, they DM'd me and said, like, Adelaide and Dacres isn't happening. What I didn't like about it is, originally they said that's the plan for Adelaide, for Dacres to be on the card and Adelaide to fight him.
Yeah.
And then they announced that the board had approved the fight. Queensbury didn't announce it officially, but it was all over Twitter, International Boxing News, that the board have approved the fight. And then Queensbury haven't actually updated anybody and said Dacres is actually off the card. They just took him off the bill, not said a word. And I just think they could have done things a hell of a lot better. But I've been told that they are going to fight, but on another show, and probably in a couple of months' time. But I'm disappointed, really, because that was I'm not saying Dacres is hugely entertaining, but I think it was going to be a real good addition to the card. But I'm disappointed with that one.
Well, like I said, this fall I didn't even realise because I was struggling to find a fight poster without his name. His name was still on it, basically.
Exactly,
so I think it was only today that Queensbury updated the poster there without his name. So
that's what I just think, like it's a bit like, without criticising promotions, the one thing I will say, Matchroom always, 90% of the times, let you know that so-and-so's off the card. But Boxer and Queensbury seem to let fights go under the radar of they just slip away from the card, and
just hope no one notices. Like, what happened to that fight?
Especially for the paying fan, you've got tickets for the fight card. You just, you want to know, but they just slip it out of the way, and hopefully you don't notice it.
No, it's just sweep it under the carpet. Oh, they won't notice, will they? Yeah, they don't realise that. I don't think they realise that the power of social media and people obviously talking like they said. This fella didn't even realise until today, so he's not, too happy to be honest with you. This one fight he was looking forward to. Okay, we're gonna go to the quick fire prediction times. I know you've been waiting for this. You've been busting with your predictions. Let's
I need
go.
to get are you going to read the fights out, are you?
I will. I've got a list here. Don't worry. So first of all, Davis versus Robles. We spoke about this, right? How do you see it going?
I will go Liam Davis points.
Points. Okay, that's good. Henny versus Pauls.
Nathan Heaney split decision.
Split decision. Wow, SD.
How precise is that?
That's pretty precise. All right, Parker versus. We think it's Zigia. Pronounce my German there.
I'm going to go Zach Parker stoppage late.
Late stoppage.
I'm looking for him to make a statement here.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's that time for him to do that, really.
Yeah.
McCann versus Strand. That nearly rhymes, doesn't it, really?
I'm going to go... See, I'll probably go Dennis McCann points.
Points, okay.
Yeah.
James versus Cooper. We spoke about this.
Well,
I
was just going to say to you, I think I got it mixed up before. Ethan James is the one who's got no stoppages on his record. Okay. I don't know if I said Owen Cooper.
Yeah. The other way.
And I don't know if I got it mixed up. I said Ethan James is going to win, but no, I think Owen Cooper will win this on close points.
Points. Okay.
Yeah.
And last one, Joyce versus obviously Cash Ali.
I think you've got to go Joe Joyce with inside 6. I think if it goes longer than that, I think it's a bit disappointing for him.
Yeah. I've not even actually looked up. I've not seen how many rounds that's scheduled for, actually. I assume it's 10.
I think it'd be 10.
Yeah,
I think it'd be 10.
Yeah, I assume it's 10. Yeah.
What do you think Joe Joyce will do?
If he wants that confidence booster, he's got to take him out early. I say within 3 rounds.
Would you say 3?
Within 3, yeah. Yeah, I think if he needs to make that statement and say, I can contend, I've lost twice against Zhang, I think he needs to take him out in 3 rounds. I really do. He's got to make that statement. Anything over, or if he does look a bit rubbish, I think the interest in him and his stock will go down, really. So he's really got to make a statement.
I definitely think he's got to make a statement. I mean, whether he does it within 3, I don't know. But that would be a great statement. I know a lot of people have badmouthed this fight, and I get the criticism a little bit, but I think it is what it is. You've just been absolutely pulverised by Zhang. Give the guy a break.
Tough fights. Yeah, exactly. Before we go, always has some sort of short ending questions, and we're going to go back to the heavyweights. We heard last week that Dillian Whyte is back, and I didn't know until today. Here he is, in all full splendor there. That he's actually fighting on Sunday. He's fighting Christian Hammer in Ireland on Sunday. I didn't know about that at all until today. I was shocked. What would you make of this?
I saw it on Friday through social media. That's the only reason why I knew. I think it's quite obviously it's been in the pipeline for a while, but it's quite short. Everyone's found out more today, and then it's like the weekend. It's a bit mad, really. But he's got to come back.
It's gone under the radar. That obviously he's been done for drugs, and then all of a sudden he's come back. He's fighting in Ireland. He's fighting on Sunday. It's just like that.
Yeah, I know. There's no broadcaster, is there?
We're waiting on the broadcaster. Apparently, it may be streamed. Just waiting on the channel. So for that. Obviously, I think it's St. Patrick's Day on Sunday as well. So
yeah.
I don't know really. So, but I'm just waiting on that to hear back.
Well, the last picture we saw of Dillian Whyte, he was looking huge, wasn't he?
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what. I know Christian Hammer, he's been around for a while, but even to see what sort of condition Whyte is in, it'd be interesting. So,
well, the thing is, if he does come in heavy, like he has done prone to before, I think it was against was it Marius back on one of the other cards. He was awful and he done the rounds, but he struggled like. But if he comes in shape, he'll probably take Christian Hammer out in 6 rounds, something like that. But if he comes in overweight, he'll probably go the distance and win on points, something like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and I'm surprised that it hasn't got that publicity. You know, I think even Sky Sports, you know, when it first broke, they announced it, and I was thinking, well, I put 2 and 2 together and thinking, is he going to sign for Boxer then? Well, you know, why would they over it so quickly? But I don't know really. So
I think he will get up in the end. I think if he makes a statement like this fight and you know another one, you know, I wouldn't rule it out. Someone like Boxer maybe picking him up or something in the end, like you started.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking obviously. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. We've got Fraser versus Wardley coming up. Fraser Clark versus Wardley coming up. If Fraser Clark loses, then Boxer really haven't got any sort of heavyweights and any sort of maybe pay-per-view heavyweights. Eventually, what you know, a White could bring maybe if you add a decent card to it, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. I think someone like Boxer really, like you say. They could do with signing a couple of heavyweights, really. I mean, they've got like, you know, Robinson versus Babic. He's on the undercard of that fight, and it's good, but like obviously they're nowhere near the level of what you probably think someone like a Boxer should have, really.
Yeah, that's Bridgerweight, that fight, isn't it? I think they're going for. Is
it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that because Steve Robinson's fought a heavyweight.
Yeah, could be. I could be wrong. So, talking about Fraser Clark and Wardley, I picked this up this week. Did you know Fraser Clark is actually a Norwich supporter?
I didn't, you know, but I tell you what, I've seen the clips of him walking around the pitch. I thought he'd done an absolutely fantastic job to rile up the crowd, rile up Wardley, really get it going. He's trying to do a great job to sell the rest of these tickets to Italiano. You know, he's building a good fight up here, but
he's definitely promoting it well. And you've got to have balls to do that, haven't you? To go,
definitely. Especially, I mean, your thing is with a hostile football crowd now, you just never know. You get some nutcase jump over the barriers, and I'm sure Fraser would lamp one of them though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. That could be a 50-50 for me with Fraser. I don't know. It depends what sort of training he's had, really. So but looking forward to that fight.
Definitely.
And obviously, another thing, you're off to Cheltenham this week as well. Have you got any tips for the Cheltenham Festival, Darren?
I have. I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a couple of losers. No,
a couple of donkeys.
The first race tomorrow, which will when this goes out, will be the 1:30.
Oh, we're leaving this fine because the video normally goes out about 1 o'clock. You're gonna have to watch it straight away.
You need to get it out. You need to get it out quick because I'm going Tully Hill in the first.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll give the viewers one in the 350, and it is called Chianti Classico, and it is. At the moment, it's like 15-2. So
that's not bad.
I'll just give and then I think have I got any in? I don't know if I had one in the last race or the last race in the last but one race in the 450. There's a horse called Liari.
Okay.
So if anyone does well off them horses, hit me up.
I was going to say
I'll take 25% of it. That'll do.
Yeah. I was going to say you heard it first. Darren's hot tips there, so there could be a future market there on the horse racing tips anyway. So.
Future YouTube page, you never know.
Yeah, we may mug off boxing and go horse racing. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if they lose, we're done for. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but good luck, Darren, and obviously,
cheers, mate.
Have a great time and have a great time at the boxing as well. On Saturday, you've got quite an action-packed week.
Definitely.
This week, horse racing and boxing. It's my ideal week, to be honest with you.
Brilliant.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me again. Please, obviously, help the channel the best you can with likes, subscriptions, and comments. Enjoy the fights on Saturday and get your beers and snacks in. Thanks again.